I'm going to take a screenshot of us.
Hello, Facebook. Hello, Brenda McMorrow. This is Brenda St. Louis, the two Brendas, talking.
Hi, Brenda St. Louis.
Hi, Brenda McMorrow. I'm so grateful to have you here in this Facebook land together. And I am Brenda St. Louis, financial therapist and money coach. And I'm here with my dear, dear friend, Brenda McMorrow. We've known each other for over 20 years, I think, maybe.
Yeah, it's getting too close to that amount of time. Oh my God.
And when you said yes to be able to have this kind of conversation, I was so pleased because there's this amazing chemistry that you and I have when we talk about spirit, about our inner learning, our wisdom, and following that purpose or the passion or that focused knowing of where we want to go. And I think both of us have been really dropped in pretty dynamically on what we want to contribute to this world. And yes. It's been such a pleasure to be navigating this with you. And so I thought today we could explore deep listening to where we want to be, how we want to navigate this beautiful big mama globe of ours, and how we can deepen the purpose-driven life that we live in. And I want you to share that. But first, I just want to position how I know you and our journey together.
It was a pretty fun beginning.
Yes, I know. Well, you could share a little bit about how we met, and then we can talk about how we spent time in Korea. And I really want to highlight watching you step into the work that you're doing in the world right now.
Okay. Well, thanks, Bren. It's so good to be here with you. I met you at the very beginning of what we could call my spiritual journey, even though I believe this whole unfolding happens throughout our lives. But I had just started opening into meditation, and I joined a Friday night meditation group in London, Ontario, at which I was really avoiding at first, which was, I think, my ego saying, don't go there. You're gonna, something big is gonna happen if you start going into the quiet space and listening to your heart. So don't do it. So I avoided it for a few weeks. And then finally one week I was just like, something inside me was like, go. So I went and I was meeting with some people, and suddenly this woman walks in the front door. She was just a little bit late because she had just been out getting some new piercings. So she was a little late for the meditation group. She walks in, and this is Brenda St. Louis I'm talking about. This is you. Walks in, and your piercings were in a place on your body that was covered by clothing. And so I'm not going to mention where they were, just because it's nice to have people just picture whatever they want in their own mind's eye. But you said to me, oh, hi. Oh, Brenda. Oh, my name's Brenda too. Hi, nice to meet you. Did you want to see my new piercings? And then removed the clothing and showed me. And I'm like, this woman is kick-ass. She's incredible. And so I was like, I'm in the right place right now. And so then from that moment on, we have always been great friends, stayed in touch, even if time goes by where we're not in touch, like months could go by. I just knowing you're out there doing what you do brings me such joy. And and then we ended up being in Korea.
Well, let me just add this first. Okay. Yeah. So this happened, we meet, I know you because you're this singer, you're amazing. You have this like life force energy that just fills a room. So I was like, oh, she's so cool. And you were going through a transition.
Yes. My marriage was ending then. Yes.
And I said, well, why don't you come to Korea? And I said this because I was living in Korea at the time and I was just visiting, and I've lived in Korea for years. And you were like, huh. And I've said this to so many people, but no one's come. And you were like, are you serious about that? Like, you texted, and like, I think it was maybe like 4 months later, you show up in Korea.
And that first night we go out for dinner, and you're like, hey, why don't you have like a stage name? Because we were both doing voice work over there, and we gave me a whole new name. I became Ella. And we, yeah, the gas. And yeah, and life just took on this whole other amazing, you introduced me to so many amazing people and amazing culture, so much opened for me while I was in Korea
And I
with
mean, like,
you.
it's been really fascinating because your best friend now is my sister. It's
You
like,
introduced me to her
I know.
in Korea.
And the two of you
It-
together is like, it's like rainbows, unicorns, and spicy food.
Oh my God, that is so good. Because I was gonna say rainbows and unicorns, maybe yeah, but yeah, there's got to be something kind of in there
A little
because your
raunchy and
sister.
spicy.
Yep. Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, you two. I can't. You're a sister team that blows my mind, blows my heart wide open.
So over the time that you were in Korea, we voice act, we meditated, we did a lot of like energetic stuff. I was
Yeah.
teaching access at the time. You were actually the one in the room when I met my partner Karen at the time. And I
Okay.
remember us, like, you witnessed a lot of big things that had
That's right.
happened in my life. And you
Yep.
were pivotal in a lot of the connections that had happened in different ways too.
Wow.
And when I say I walked into that room and I showed you my piercings, it was also because I was recognizing this light that you are and what you bring.
Oh.
And
Well,
I
I
want,
recognize that in you, girl.
wow, yeah, it's like, okay, I see you.
Yay.
That's why I wanted you to be on this Facebook Live, because it's like showcasing people that are leading their lives rather than being led
Mhm.
by other people. And there's nothing wrong with that. You know,
Yeah.
there are people that need some hand holding and moving it, but there's a certain courage and je ne sais quoi that you need when you don't know where you're going.
Mm.
You know, like, you're like, okay, this feels right. This feels right. And you follow it. And I
Yeah.
remember we were sitting in my living room and I didn't have any like upright furniture, it was all floor sitting. And I said, well, what do you want to do? And I think you had known what you wanted to do before you came to Korea. And you said, and I'll articulate what I heard, but you can share with me what happened. Is like, you wanted to use tones, the frequency of sound, your voice, in order to heal the planet and your body and people's bodies. And I was just like, wow, like, how are you going to do that? And you were like, well, I'm going to go to India.
Yeah. Yeah, I got myself closer by going to Korea, and then it was easier to get to India. That was one of the great things about being in South Korea. But yeah, I love the way that you remembered that, and I would say that that is true. I don't remember saying it in that exact way, but I like that description. I I just knew that actually it was the first time that I had ever heard Sanskrit mantra. Mantra is like a sound formula for anyone who's not familiar with it. This is an ancient practice of singing or chanting sound formulas that have a unique vibration that is extremely healing for all levels of our being. And it comes from the Indian tradition, very ancient practice that is being done all over the West now, in addition to India and South Asia. And so I had heard it probably just a few months after you and I had met. And I had just prior to hearing mantra for the first time, I had been having some deep experiences in my meditations and really finding an access into my heart that I had never experienced before. And so when I heard the mantra, I was like, wow, that's like a turbocharged way to get into this place of presence, to get into this place of quietening the mind, opening the heart, and being able to just listen. I mean, I didn't think all those things at the time, but that's what happened. And it was a guy named Yogi John, and it was in London, Ontario, at the Lotus Center. And he played, and in that second song, something happened to me. I sometimes describe it as a lightning bolt, but it was bigger than that. And it was basically, this is what you'll do now. And I remember my mind going, wait a second. What do you mean? This is what you'll do? You don't know what this is. But something that deeper knowing said, this is what you'll do. It was so quiet, so precise. And I remember just going, I was simultaneously so excited, and then also the mind was getting worried, but I didn't really listen to my mind because I'd been cultivating this space of listening. So I was able to go, oh, this is truer than what the mind's telling me. And so I just said, okay, this is what I'm going to do. And it did become a focus for me. I mean, I knew that it could look any way. It doesn't mean that I would just be singing kirtan, which is a form of singing mantra with people, call and response singing. It didn't just mean that. It could evolve and grow, but there was something in me that knew that sound was going to be an integral part of what I was going to. I mean, it had always been what I shared, but it was in bars and through folk songs, which was really great too. But that it was going to be a very focused one that opens the heart in a way that utilizes these Sanskrit mantras. So, yeah, so that's kind of what I just went, oh, okay, let's do it. And so when we were in Korea, I started to start writing melodies to go with the mantras. You saw the unfolding of that beginning part of my journey.
But even that moment, it's like that, it's like, I would call it darshan, or whatever you want to call that moment when you meet the truth and you're seen by the truth or whatever. Like I had that in clown school, and
Oh,
people that
yeah.
have listened to me have done that. Like I was in
Yeah.
clown school, there was this moment where we had a mask on, my teacher whispered a word in the ear, and I had to mold 8 clay masks that were me. And
Wow.
that first time I molded that first mask, I had this sentence in my head. It wasn't me, it was another voice. And it was like, you are here to transform the consciousness of money into a conduit for love and connection. And it was going around and around and around. And I had goosebumps. I was crying. My mask was like drenched. And part of me was very excited, like, this is what I'm going to do. And the other part of me, like, what the fuck? Like, I am in debt. I don't know money. I don't understand money. I'm good at making it. I'm good at spending it. But it was in that moment where, like, this is what I'm doing in life. Like, I
Wow.
knew it in every
Yeah.
cell of my body. I didn't know what it was going to look like. So it
Yeah.
sounds very similar, where it's like this,
Totally.
like it cuts you inside.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
tell me about the journey, and like you, and I want, if you're open to sharing a kirtan song at the end of this, I would love that
Oh, I
person.
would love that too.
But I have watched you've traveled for what we were just talking earlier, like 14 years. You've been traveling all over the world, singing and bringing people together and creating that momentum. And you're epic. Like you don't stop. What's
Well,
the
I have now. I
Yeah,
mean,
true.
the physical part of it,
Yeah.
this last 7 months has been really super interesting for me because it's even 2 months in, to living in a more isolated way, in this COVID time. I thought, wow, this is the longest I've been in one place in like 14 years. And so it's been actually, on the positive side, it's been really good for me to really ground out and be quiet. And I've become more internal, and I've been letting some new ideas for new things that I'm going to be sharing in a new way, because touring is off the table right now, and that's what I did. So all these new ways of sharing are percolating, and I'm developing them right now, soon to be sharing them more outwardly. And so yeah, so the journey has been, pretty wild and wonderful, like really truly traveling the whole world, and um, being able to interact and share with people and have them share with me, and to see that there are human beings in every corner, in every little town, even if it's just a few people. There are people who want to expand their capacity for love and for changing the world, and they know that it starts here. And so being able to do mantra with people, and the power of mantra, like I mentioned before, is that it helps to quiet the mind. And while this beautiful mantra is being repeated, and then this beingness opens, and then we're able to listen, and then we know, like, how do we affect change, how do we create more love and more prosperity for everyone, not just for ourselves. But yeah, all of that starts in here. And I've had the chance to be able to be exposed to that and to learn from so many people for many years. And the journey continues. And it's really, for me, it's about being present in the moment. I'm not saying that I'm present in the moment all the time. My mind can take me into little swirls, but I'm really glad for my meditation and my yoga practice and my mantra practice. And this is something I would recommend to everyone, to find something that speaks to you, and that even if it seems a little bit tricky at the beginning, it can become a habit, and a habit that is so very helpful and useful for ourselves in transforming our lives. And so I'm really grateful for that, for bringing me back into the center
I
of
think
myself.
I think it's pretty awesome that you have a career that is about listening. It's about coming back to your heart. It's about
Yeah.
being present and like embodied in
Yeah.
that sound, because your sound is like a vibration. It's a frequency that, like, when you're humming or singing or doing anything or talking, like every cell of your body is picking up that frequency. So the
Yeah.
ability to create somatic change, it, it seems like a no-brainer with sound.
Right.
But the ability to create like energetic and spiritual and like more transformative soul change is also applicable with sound.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's quite incredible. Yeah. So I do feel very lucky, very blessed. Yeah.
Well, I'm really grateful to have you here, and thank you so much. I don't,
Thank you,
I
Brenda.
know, I don't even know how long we've been talking, but
I don't know either.
yeah,
Feels like maybe 15 minutes, something
yeah.
maybe.
So
That's,
tell me, like, I'd love to take some time to hear what your beautiful, amazing voice is. I had my sister here on Facebook, and I was talking about how I just love, because she's a singer too, and you both have performed together a fair bit,
yeah.
and how that voice is something that I am challenged by. I'm a voice actor too, but singing has always been one of these weird blocks for me.
Yeah.
And even when I go to your kirtan, it's like singing, it's like I have to like really work at
Yeah.
opening that channel. And I know how healing and powerful it is, but it's really emotional for me
Yeah.
when I'm
Yeah.
singing. And I wasn't planning on sharing that, but it was like I'm taking
That's
singing lessons.
powerful.
Like I have a voice teacher right now that does somatic releasing and stuff like that. And I'm
Oh, so
accessing
beautiful.
part of my chamber, like the
Yeah.
volume, the chamber of who I am.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't.
Well, thank you. Well, I'm really glad you shared that, because I think it's such a vulnerable thing that so many people also experience when we do our live kirtans, or even when we're doing them online and people are singing with us at home. People often tell me how emotional it is, or how tense they might feel here in their throat when they first start singing, because we live in a culture that shuts down voices a lot. And, there's like, oh, there's the singers here, they're the ones we want to listen to, but we keep quiet, or something like that. Whereas there are other cultures in the world where everyone's a singer. If you said to someone, say in Ghana in West Africa, oh, I can't sing, they might look at you and say, what do you mean you can't sing? You're talking to me right now. Of course you can sing. Like, it's just not, but here we say things like that. I can't sing. So we get it embedded in our consciousness. So singing kirtan or working with a teacher like you are, we're able to slowly, or maybe quickly, unblock this shutdown that's happened. And yeah, kirtan's a wonderful way to do it, because we're with other people, we're hearing the sounds, and the sounds themselves, the vibrations, help to work through it. But there are often emotions that come. And so if we're courageous enough to say, okay, I might cry, or okay, I might feel something right now, there's freedom on the other end. And it's really a powerful medicine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm glad you're doing that. That's
It's a
awesome.
journey. Like, like I don't really, like, I've done a lot of my inner work, but this is
Yeah.
this one frontier where I'm like, no, my sister's the singer. I'm not the singer.
Right.
Or like,
That's right. Yeah.
and when in
Yeah.
Korea, I had this accident with this motorcycle strap, and it hit my vocal cords.
Wow.
and I lost all my little girl and higher range. So I stay in this low range, which
Yeah.
most choirs say they want your voice because you've got that bass, female bass. And I'm like, yeah, but I can't even sing happy birthday without it being painful. Like,
Oh,
so
isn't
there's
that,
this like
yeah.
weird comfort zone where I sit in this comfort zone of, oh, I'm good with recording hypnotherapy tracks. I'm really soothing with
Right.
meditation.
Right.
So I get rewarded from my speaking voice,
Yeah.
but I got the ceiling, right? And I'm in the comfort zone.
Right.
And I'm curious too, because for me, in the work that I'm doing in the world and the stuff I want to bring to the world, I need to have a voice. I need to project. I need to be speaking in front of huge volumes and crowds of people
Right.
about what I would like to bring to the world. And you are singing and bringing that sound to the world that I'm like, you know, whatever's in the way, we're resisting that's in the way of us stepping into more of ourselves,
Yeah.
I don't have a choice. I have to move through it.
Right, right. Well, and what if what and this is something that I've done at times when I feel nervous or I feel like, oh, my throat's not going to be able to, my voice is feeling scratchy today or whatever, is I say a prayer. And whatever prayer means for people, it can just mean a prayer, an intention. I say a prayer that I can just move out of my own way and allow what wants to come through, or just to, because sometimes I might be thinking, oh, it's all about me or whatever, and it's like, oh, let's just move out of the way. So that's a prayer that we can say. It's just like, can I move out of the way? Can I just allow what is to want to come through, or to allow what is to come through? And it takes the pressure off, it takes the pressure off of this individual needing to do something. Does that make sense?
Good point. It's so true.
Yeah. Just
It's like
moving a little bit over,
it's not about
because
you.
it's not about us. It really isn't. And that's the tricky part, because we have all these messages that talk about our voice, my voice, this, but what if it's just that a truth or something inspirational or something that people want to hear needs to come through this conduit, that conduit. And so, yeah, the stepping back or stepping to the side, I don't know, it's something that's helped me.
So would you be able to step up and to the side and
I could
sing
step out
us
of the way
and bring your
and
beautiful
sing.
voice and the mantras
Aw.
to all of us who can hear?
Sure. Maybe we probably have a couple minutes. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be great.
I would love to. And I thought maybe a song, a mantra that has one of the translations. Sanskrit doesn't have direct translations. It's a vibrational language that can hold different meanings depending on the context, but it always comes to a central vibrational meaning. But one of the translations for this particular mantra is that it's a bowing down to the indwelling one. So the essence of this mantra is that there is a divine, the divine lives within us. And even if we don't really subscribe to that or have a direct knowing of that, we can even think of that the spark of creativity lives in us. And so this chant helps us to relax back into that. So maybe I'll just tell you what the words are, and then I'll just sing it for a minute or two. Do we have time? And at home, you can sing along if you start kind of catching onto the words, or just close your eyes and let the vibrations of the mantra do their thing. So the words are Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Okay. So actually, do you want to repeat after me, Bren? So Om Namo
Om Namo
Bhagavate
Bhagavate
Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Vasudevaya.
Yes, very good. So I'll sing, and then anytime that anyone at home wants to start singing along, we can. I know you can't, Bren, because the limitations with Zoom is we can't sing at the same time, but you can recite it within. Next time I see you, we're going to sing together, though, sister. Here we go. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 So let's sing just 2 more times. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Bren.
So fun. Thank you so much. And I know everyone that's listening is receiving that vibration. So thank you.
Oh, good. And I just want to say thank you for everything that you're doing and being and allowing other people to see and to be inspired by. I'm really grateful to you, Bren.
It takes all of us.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you, hon.